contaminated water coming through canal. Both sides have agreed to conduct joint survey and take necessary actions to prevent health hazards of the local population. Both the sides have agreed to ensure an expeditious execution of the MOU in reopening Rohingpur Khal, originated from River Kushiara. Finally, both sides agreed to reflect the commitment and decision of the conference at the ground level in true spirit to maintain the peace and tranquility at the border. With the kind permission from the respected delegation leaders, we shall now have the introductory session with the journalists. As I have already explained the ground rules for the introduction, now you may raise your hand to ask question. First question will be asked by Riyaz Raihan, Jamuna Television.
Good morning, I'm Riyaz Raihan from Jamuna Television. Thank you for coming to Bangladesh, one of the most beautiful country in the world. My question is to DG BSF, and we know that Bangladesh and India, Dhaka relation has become now new balance, and it should reflect in border also as well. But we know some weeks ago, one of our BGB soldier, Rosudin, killed at.
I would request you to go to the specific question without explaining.
Yes,
without explaining. Just straight question.
And Bangladeshi people know that there was a target killing. Do you think so, or you
can go for the specific question?
Yes. What actually happened at the time? Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for asking this question. We have already intimated the DGP what happened during this incident and how he came to end up dead. So please, I will not explain on that. It has already been reported. It is kindly obtained from DGP. Thank you.
We want to get this opportunity to take a response from
on this same issue. Microphone.
Before that, let me just remind you about the ground rules. If you have question, you should raise your hand without asking directly.
I raised my hand.
Yes, but you are not nominated. Please.
Yeah, we want to take this opportunity to get a response from DGP because already, in the
Okay.
Thank you. As the DG BSF, His Excellency has already said, you have heard that officially the correspondences have been made. This was not a targeted killing, first of all. This happened amidst the darkness, fog, confusion on both sides, and in future there will be all-out efforts from both sides to avoid any kind of killing on uniformed personnel, be it BGB personnel or BSF personnel or any civilians, Bangladesh or India. That we have agreed. From now on, our maximum efforts should be no loss of life. Thank you.
Sir,
We cannot concur on the same question. We have
We don't have
time to go on the same question so much for so long. Next question, please.
Next question. Imran Shumun.
I'm working in ATN News. I question Honorable Excellency DGBSF. How BGB and BSF can reduce the smuggling and drug and narcotics control and arms and ammunition and contraband items?
Thank you for asking this question. This whole conference was about this, and we have mulled about this. We already have measures in place. We discussed to take it further, how we can make it even more effective. So if we can't make those things public because the effectiveness will be lost. So kindly allow us to limit to what the Honorable General Staff has already said, what transpired in the meeting. We have discussed steps to make it even more effective by coordinated patrols and exchange of advanced information, intelligence, etc. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Al Amin, senior reporter, the Daily Khabar Coverage.
Can you give me some opportunity to nominate? If you give me the opportunity, then I can nominate. Okay, as you have started, you may.
Okay. I have a question, Honorable DGP. What has been discussed about border hut discipline?
So, border hut is a mechanism. I believe you are aware that both governments have agreed, which would help the lifestyle economy of the bordering people of both sides, so that mutual benefit economically can be obtained. So in that regard, we have discussed so that more number of border huts can be initiated with proper mechanism, proper implementation, so that the bordering people of both sides within regulations can conduct that, can implement that, and have a better life, mutually beneficial. Thank you.
Good morning.
Here,
I want to take the opportunity.
Among the journalists, we have a journalist from UNI. May I request him to ask question?
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Sir, my name is Mir Afroz Jaman. I am the UNI correspondent in Dhaka. My question is attention to DG Bangladesh. What is the output of this conference for Bangladeshis? And second is attention DG to BSF. Bangladesh and India are friendly country. We have not forgotten his contribution in 1971. But sometimes there is no solution to border killing. In this regard, steps being taken to stop border killing, but why is it not being implemented?
Okay, let me reply to the first question that you have asked to me. Actually, the output or the outcome of this conference, you have heard in the summary, in details. So I won't go to the details, but I would summarize saying that we have decided to address as much as possible and mutually beneficial for both sides on the unresolved issues. And if I highlight more, I would say the prevention of smuggling, border crimes, and ensuring zero death policy on the border. That is in general. And the summary you have already heard. I don't want to prolong my response because we don't have much time.
Excellency, would you mind to explain?
Now let the DGBSF answer to that part, as I say. Sorry, Excellency. Next we'll have your question because you already started, and as you started, that will be the last question. Otherwise, we don't want our delegation to miss the flight. Thank you. Thanks for understanding.
This was about border killing.
Yeah, border.
Well, yes. You see, border killings do take place in which both Bangladeshi and Indian citizens get killed sometimes, despite our efforts not to do so. You see, on Bangladesh border, we have changed our weapon policy. We have put non-lethal weapons in use instead of the usual lethal weapons of infantry. This is purely with the intention of minimizing any deaths which may occur due to attack on BSF personnel. You see, there is a organized crime rackets operating across the borders. And they do not have any compunction in attacking both BSF as well as BGP personnel on duty who are coming in the way of smuggling and other anti-national, transporter crimes. So they attack BSF personnel and also BGP personnel, as I just said, and in self-defense sometimes they have to fire. And most of the time, you see, I'm sure you are aware that 60 BSF personnel have been injured seriously due to attack by border criminals. They used lethal weapons like da, and they have serious cut injuries on their sensitive body parts, which is a matter of grave concern. So under those circumstances only, our BSF personnel have fired, in which some Bangladeshi criminals as well as Indian criminals have been killed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. On this note, I would like to add as well, even to be honest and being candid, both BSF and BGB personnel are being attacked, what His Excellency has just referred, by the local miscreants of both sides, smugglers, whenever they are challenged by stones, by sharp weapons, da and all, both sides. We are trying to raise the awareness of the local population, not to indulge into that, and as a whole, overall, no injury to either BSF or BGB personnel, and no loss of life on any sides. That is our main purpose now. Please continue your question. You can continue your question.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the opportunity. I am Mizan Ahmed from SATV. My question is DG BSF. Today, our renowned daily Bangladesh Pratidin published a news. I don't know Your Excellency aware of it. Mamata Bandyopadhyay raised a question on BSF for the killing of Nitin Shikit, Aston supporter in border. And she claimed that why should not BSF take under the legal action for the killing Bangladeshi citizen. Thank you.
Well, I have not read newspapers here, and what you said, I am totally unaware about this. When I go back, we will examine what has been said and what needs to be done. Thank you.
The last question.
Excellency, DG BSF, my name is Muqtadir. I work for a daily called New Age. We have been following the border killing once again. We have seen that significant progress has been made when one BSF commander came here and promised that border killing should be 0. And again is rise last couple of years. So what we have seen, in many cases, Bangladeshi are being killed on their face or the chest or the upper portion of the body. So when you say you have changed your weapon policy, when you say you only fire in terms of protecting yourself, we see exactly opposite when it happened or people are being killed on the ground. Can you, Excellency, tell us why it's happening? Why? Why don't you use body on camera to find out the real situation, and why don't you go for any joint investigation in terms of finding out the facts on the ground? Otherwise, we can get the real picture of any circumstances. And you see, our Roisuddin also killed in the similar scenario. Can you go for, Excellency, can you go for any joint investigation henceforth so that people can aware of the facts, what happened on the ground of civilian life or the casualty any terms, any side? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your question is not a single question. I'll have to write an essay to answer your question. But I'll try to be brief and try to satisfy all your queries. Number one, You mentioned that the shots were on the sensitive parts of the body like chest and face, etc., which proves in itself that it has been at a close range, which I have been trying to tell you that this has been done in self-defense after they have been attacked by da. So when you attack by da, you have to come very close. So when a person is on the threat of death by being attacked with da, so when he fires, he can't focus on leg or hand or some other non-serious part of the body. This is happening when there is imminent threat to life. That is one part. Secondly, the bordermen, we have given pump action guns. Pump action guns means at a normal range it will not kill. But when it is at a very close range like point blank, it will definitely kill. Even rubber bullets kill at a very close range. So please understand this. This only kind of verifies and validates the point which I mentioned, that 60 BSF personnel have been injured in the last 1 year on being attacked by da. And secondly, you are only aware of the deaths which have taken place. You are not aware of how many Indian deaths have taken place. You are also not aware of how many cases in which we have arrested without killing. You are not aware of how many persons who are apprehended and handed over to BGB. You don't have it. So please see the whole thing in this perspective. Then you will realize that we are trying our best to prevent deaths, both Bangladeshi as well as Indian. It is not in our interest to cause deaths on either side, because we have to live there, we have to work there. We want the goodwill of people on either side of the border. That's what we are trying to achieve. And for this, we have also discussed with BGB. We have decided to increase our joint border patrolling, to share intelligence more proactively and try to help each other out in preventing these trans-border crimes and on attack on both our personnel. So that is what our aim is. This will definitely result in reduction of deaths, which you mentioned. Thank you.
Joint. I'll ask about the joint.
No, thank you. Very unfortunately, as I say, we don't want our delegation to miss the flights. But thank you very much to all the journalists and then for all your contribution and your gracious presence. Whatever question if you have after that, if you can send to us, definitely we'll provide the responses in writing.
Excellencies and everyone present here, this brings us to the end of this media brief. Thank you.